Hello, friends. It's Sherry. I'm the author of The Lighthouse Guide, Love and Advice from a Fellow Human, and I'm popping on today to talk about that age-old question: why do bad things happen to good people? A lot of us have been asking ourselves that very question this week. We have witnessed unspeakable violence. Perhaps we have heard witness and victim testimony that has horrified and shocked us. Or maybe we have seen some of the accounts of catastrophic weather events, massive flooding, landslides, volcanic eruptions that have been taking place around the globe. Often we are tempted in these times of apparent random violence or hardship to wonder if there was a single poor decision or life choice or action on the part of those that have had these bad things occur that we could learn from by example and somehow escape them from ourselves. We want assurances that being a good person has its own rewards. Some of you know that several years ago was the beginning of a particularly difficult period for my family. It started with the COVID lockdowns. My mother was in a nursing home at the time. Um, and just as the lockdowns were uh, easing, my youngest was met with a scary medical diagnosis that required crutches and multiple surgeries over the course of a year. Then my mother passed away. And several months later, my husband became gravely ill, including having to undergo painful procedures over the course of the coming year, multiple hospitalizations, and a long and uncertain recovery. Not long after a second hospitalization, which was very touch and go, my husband and I ran into one of his work colleagues. And in the course of conversation, she lamented, "I just can't get my head around why. Why you? You're such a good person. You're such good people. It doesn't make sense." And it wasn't the first time that I had heard someone express that sentiment, and I wanted to push back on it. I said, "Why not us? I can't think of anyone I would wish this upon." I said, "At least we have insurance. We have access to a well-regarded medical facility. We have the support of family and friends. Why not us?" In a way, I'm glad it was us. And that has kept me going, that idea that it's not a matter of whether we made the wrong choices or did the right things, that in that space of dealing with life's inevitable challenges, I didn't have to go through them alone. And in fact, as I look back at those years, beginning in COVID and ending with my husband's very scary health crisis, I'm feeling a sense of gratitude because during COVID, my children, who were juniors in high school and college at the time, were forced to come back home and live in the same house together. And while as younger siblings were prone to those inevitable sibling squabbles, as young adults, they were able to rewrite the terms of their relationship. They were able to rethink how they related to each other, and to this day are there for each other in supporting each other. During the many months that my youngest was sidelined on crutches, unable to do the activities that she'd been so involved in, she taught herself how to oil paint. She taught herself how to crochet. She has since taught herself how to knit. And for my husband and I, his medical crisis only confirmed how fortunate and blessed we are with the community that we have in our lives. The I can't count how many cards we received in support, how many prepared meals, the shoulders that were there for me to cry on when the stress became overwhelming, and there were too many hugs to count. We were reminded that we have a community that will hold us and hold us up when we are struggling. So I want to push back on this narrative of bad things or good things happening to otherwise deserving or undeserving people. Because how many of us have heard about someone's scary medical diagnosis or financial setback and wanted to know more about their lifestyle? Did they eat too much junk food? Did they buy too many lattes? But the ugly side of that train of thought is we ask then, why were they in that neighborhood? What was she wearing? They shouldn't have been so trusting. Because hot on the heels of the fear that's behind that line of questioning is judgment. And there's no place for judgment behind what happens to us in this world, because taken to the extreme, where does that judgment go when the bad thing happens to the innocent, to the child, to the community that was just living its life in the path of destruction? If we get caught in the trap of believing that there is some sort of karmic or cosmic scale of justice meting out punishments and rewards, we will be disappointed. We will feel defeated. We will be angry that it's not balancing fast enough, that it's not holding the bad people accountable, that it's not rewarding the good in the way that we want to see it rewarded. And it's all missing the point. I'm here to hold your hand and tell you that good and bad things happen to everyone, all of us. There is no predicting, there's no sparing, there's no earning. But the point is that no matter what happens, we're not alone. There will always be someone to hold us. There will always be someone to lend a hand and support us. And there will always be someone to celebrate with us. The question should never be why. Why do these things happen? But who? Who will be with me when they do? And that's it for today. As always, I hope you will like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the notification bell so that more people can see these videos. And as always, in case you haven't heard today, I'm glad you were born. Until next time, take care.